You ever have one of those days that just nothing goes right? Today has been so frustrating. Just it's like every little thing. See, it's like, how about the time you go to a job site and you have to work in the backyard all day and you get there only to realize that the client didn't bother to clean up any of the dog shit. Start off the day cleaning up a client's dog messes. And, it's like, that starts off the day just so bad. So bad. Well, I just got back from another estimate, and it was also frustrating because the person that I just went and talked to has got a grove of redwoods, beautiful redwoods. They don't need a thing. Well, the neighbors on the other side of the fence, their house is easily 50 feet away from these redwood trees. They gave this neighbor the bill for cleaning their roof because they had solar panels and they didn't like the needles from the redwood trees on their roof. And this guy, he's 81 years old and he's feeling terrible. He's saying, I'm just going to go ahead and pay it. And I'm just thinking, for God's sakes. Well, why am I there? I've got to write a report saying that it's natural for a redwood tree to shed its needles and there's nothing they can do to control it. But he wants us to prune the trees anyway. He wants us to go ahead and take out the little tiny bit of deadwood just so that he can show his neighbor that he's doing his due diligence because they were offended by what a tree does naturally. And I'm talking to this guy and I'm saying, why don't you just tell the neighbor no? Why don't you just say, why'd you move here? Move to the desert if you don't like my trees. The trees were here long before you. Well, there's so many people that are so into their space and their life and their stuff, especially in Silicon Valley where there's way too much money. There's so much money here, it drives me absolutely nuts. Which brings me to the next story, today's job. You're not going to believe this one. I got to show you. Nope, we're bailing. Got this job to deadwood these two big oak trees. It was a full day's work. I had talked to them 3 weeks ago. I had it scheduled. I show up, and what do I find? The tree is full of Christmas lights. The woman said to me, "Oh, I thought you could work around them." I'm incensed. I contacted her yesterday and told her we were coming. I contacted them 3 weeks ago and said, "We've got it on the schedule." They just spent $1,100 getting Christmas lights put in their two oak trees, and they thought we could magically work without. I guess if we had the bucket truck here, we could have done some bucket work, but what about over there? We can't get the bucket in over that way. We can't get the bucket on that half of the tree. Damn it. Question I would have never imagined I would have to ask. Did you put Christmas lights in the tree? Jeez. Some people have too much money. They have no respect for the rest of us. All right, so we had to leave the job. So first thing in the morning, if you don't have something set up, it's not that easy just to pull a job out of the hat and just go to it. Fortunately, I did have a couple of clients that said any time, and I was able to fill up the day. But it could have just as easily been a wash. It would have cost me money. I got to pay the guys. I got to pay all the daily bills. I got to pay the insurance. I got to pay. Well, you know what it's like. If you're in business for yourself, it's a hustle. You're constantly trying to meet that number. Every day you've got a number. Once you meet the number, anything above and beyond the number is what you get to keep. And in this business, that number is pretty damn high. So, sorry for my rant and my rave. I'm sure you guys have all got your stories. Go ahead and tell me some stories. Put them down in the comments. Tell me what's the crappiest thing that's ever happened to you? What's the most frustrating thing that's happened to you in your business? We all learn from other people's stories, and I think that sharing stories is really important. So, hey, thanks for taking the time to view my little rant and rave here, but I got to get back to work.